Alright, Construction Cronies, what's good everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome! Happy Tuesday! So remember, when you get into the stream, hit that like button for me, okay? Or you're just watching a replay, hit that like button for me. I appreciate you guys. If you want to subscribe, go right ahead. But I just really appreciate when you hit that like for me, man. It helps get the video out. I really appreciate that. So today, over at the Rec Center, opening for the glazing units. So let me just kind of recap here. We'll flip it around. So we've got the vestibule on that far end, right? I built the middle wall, okay? And then I tied the ends in, right? So the column and this pony wall here, right? We've gone over all this pony wall. So if you want to see this, go back to my last stream. I have videos I'm editing right now. So I have a sponsor video I'm working on. And then I have this bill. And I also shot a bunch of videos for this. I'm going to put a couple shorts together for this area, okay? I'll go down there in a second. So you can see this big, long hallway here. We're going to be adding a whole pony wall just like this all the way down to the other end with an opening or two in it with using the Clark Dietrich pony walls, okay? You can get these Clark Dietrich or Bailey makes them, okay? They're pony wall. They're called pony wall posts or whatever, okay? Then we drill and anchor them in with 3/8 by 1 7/8 red heads, okay? So it's like there's no structural steel, so we just put it in and it's sturdy, okay? Like it's not going anywhere. And I got them every 10 feet and 2 on the end here, okay? Because it's like an L shape there, so I put 2. So and at the very end for maximum strength, so it's not going nowhere, okay? And it's I didn't put one on this corner. That's good enough, okay? That's super strong. That's 18 gauge steel stud, okay? On the other end here, so you can kind of see post. I'm going to go over here in a second and show you this, guys. So basically building it in sections and then attaching the sections together. So this wall here, okay, it finishes out that way, and there's an opening on that side, door and a hallway going down the front. And then on the other side, it drops down to 12 foot half inch again, okay? So I frame out the column, and I'm bracing it with the channel, shooting braces into the column at the top and on the channel, okay? I'll show you the other side as well. And then this stud down here, I have this lasered in. It's just like a normal clip, right? To bridge the two studs together, I screwed this stud into this stud and into the clip, okay? So it's not going anywhere. It's extremely strong, okay? I'm putting hard corners in, meaning the studs in the corner, okay? No floaters here. Going around the other way now. And like I said, guys, you need like lasers, okay? I'm lasering in everything. So once I get the posts in, I've pre-planned everything where the posts go. I've put them right where the 16-inch centers are. I pre-drilled the holes through the steel stud so that I don't burn out my hammer drill bits. They just go straight into concrete. It's gorgeous. It works really well, okay? And I'm putting two pin bolts in on the ends and along the lengths. I'm staggering them every 16 inches, pin bolt. You know what I mean? 2 on each end. And box beam, right? I've shown you guys this quite a bit. But the process here is there's offices on the other side, okay? And there's going to be a window here. Okay, a window and then 2 double doors. So my 9-foot 1 1/4 inch opening gives me 3/4 inch plywood all the way around. Okay, and drywall 5/8 all the way around. It'll get plywood on the inside, drywall taped returns. Okay, and then I'm done with it. The glazers will take it from there. So this room was built to about 20 inches back. So the offices, I wanted it to make sure that the window. All right, sorry about the connection, guys. This sucks in these buildings for internet. So actually these are structural studs. I could go 3 1/4 inches, okay? But basically I got this side lasered in, and my column is lasered, so it worked out perfect. So I'm screwing it. I'm basically putting 2 studs in on this side, and then measuring across from there to my opening, okay? I have enough room over here. It's just under 2 feet. It's like 23.5 inches. This is 1/2 inch drywall on this wall. So I've come back not just 5/8 but 5/8 and a 1/16, okay, which I call a big 5/8 back, because this, I will be taping this seam here, okay. It'll be like a big long butt joint. And then on this side, right, I obviously have 2 studs for the drywall, the leg of the drywall on this side, and then I added a stud for the corner, okay. So I have a corner stud, keeping my stud on 16-inch center there, right. And you can kind of see on this side here, I put a kicker here at the bottom, and there's one at the top as well, okay. Well, it's not right at the bottom, it's at 4 foot, okay. On the other side, you saw it at the 12 foot. It's just different. So it's tied into this other wall, 3 5/8, because the 6-inch wouldn't fit in front of the column, so I went 3 5/8. You kind of see what I mean, right? 6-inch wouldn't fit, so I went 3 5/8 to keep the wall perfectly straight. Drywall is just going to carry it off 16s from there, okay, 16, 32, 48, and then you can see the transition, right? I'm screwing the 3 5/8 to the 6-inch, new channel screwed in, okay, on this screwed in as well on the tabs, right? So it's screwed in on 16-inch center, and it's screwed in on the end, so this end stud will not go anywhere, okay. And that's done on 2 spots at the 4 and 8, sorry, the 4 and 8, and then that's 12 foot in at the bottom, so it's straight all the way up. You can kind of see here as well, there was a corner stud here already. This was the original column, so this corner stud, I left it in, and I screwed this new corner stud to it, and the first stud on the new wall, okay, as well to it. So I have 3 studs here. That's perfectly fine. It's just like gonna be super strong. These are angles, okay. These are 16 gauge angles, 4 screws on the bottom one. I only put 2 and 2 for the top angle. If you can kind of see that one up there, that's to keep the top from wobbling out. And the box beams are always going to be a bit bigger than your studs, okay. You just have to split the difference on either side, and that's just because the obviously track is a little bit bigger than your stud, right? Same thing. Before you put your box beams up, if they go in an insulated wall, make sure to insulate them before you put them on, okay? Typically you can insulate them before you put the top cap on even, and just push it in. It's a little harder to push the insulation in after you've already capped it, okay? So if your wall's insulated, make sure to insulate them before you put them up. You can kind of see how it's perfect, right? Then this is simple, okay? All you're gonna do here is cut 3 pieces of track to your RO size, okay, and 2 studs. When I'm putting the track on, I'm literally here. Let me get my clamp. I can show you exactly how I clamp this, because this is the most important part of building a box beam, almost, okay. So I'm going to show you this. I can show it to you on the bottom. So these clamps are like a must for steel stud framers. You can get these in the links on my video descriptions, by the way, or on my Amazon list, but these are the 9YRs or whatever, but they're awesome. So these clamps always go in and out the same way, okay. You're gonna put them in through the top part, all right, and then they clamp right on the corner here, okay, just like that, right on the corners, okay. Boom, that's how you do it. Clamp it right in the corner. And like I said, always like through the top, okay, at where the circle is. You can either start from one knockout and work your way down every 2 feet and then the ends, or you go in the middle and work your way out, okay. But make sure, to clamp your ends as well. And then after you got all that, I'll bang in, making sure that the ends are all nice and flush and flat and square and all that. It's beautiful, okay? Everything lasered in. Once I get my studs in and squared and screwed off, I can then laser the top in, okay? So that the top track is perfectly lasered in all the way. It's beautiful. So on the end stud on this side, I'm putting 2 screws every 2 feet, okay, boom, 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 boom. There's a stud behind here that it's connecting to. All right, hey, Bob, what's up, man? No, they're not. I can build these really, really quick, man. it depends on how big they're. If they're less than 10 feet, they're super quick. It's when they're like over 10 feet, they can get a little bit harder and take longer to build, but they're pretty quick. Oh, and then the top track, I'm building that whole length on the ground. So it's over 10 foot. So I'm measuring what I need for the extra 10 feet. I'm gonna not overlap it on this side, okay, because it's a little different at that top, but I'm gonna put a 2-inch lip on the other side, okay. So I'll cut that out and just overlap it and put screws in the top on that side. And I'm literally building it on the ground, okay. I like push it up to another stud, make sure it's straight and flat, okay. That's how I do that. And if you've missed that, you'll see how I have videos on that. But simple, it's really simple. So yeah, we're getting there. Let me go up to the front. I've been sanding. It's quite a lot of wall, and it's really dark in here, so I can't really see much. So I need a little bit more light before I can really finish this, but I have a bit of time before I have to actually have this painted. So we're gonna be over here building the offices next, and there's some cool stuff in there. There's actually a cool bulkhead, and then round walls, and there's a bathroom in there. There's gonna be some cool stuff that I actually just put the order in today. I'll find out when the materials come for that. And then of course I want to add furring bar on the top here, 2 runs of furring bar to keep the studs square and from twisting. And then I'm gonna put channel as well, 4 and 8 on this wall, on the long wall. 2-inch angle coming for the ends, so I'll put 2-inch angle up there to pick up the drywall on both ends, on that end as well, okay. Because I'm sorry, let me just catch up on the chat. Those sorts of clamps are so useful. Oh, the best, yeah. Yeah, beams are built from tracks and studs. Yes, 100%. So you cut whatever see, like for example, this one here is bigger than 10 feet. So I have had to add a little piece at the bottom there, and same at the top, okay? Make sure we're always staggering your joints. And also these studs, we should be flipping them so that the knockouts land on different. Like you can see the knockout is short on this side, like a foot in, and then the knockout on this one is 2 feet in. You see, always staggering and flipping your knockouts and your joints. Okay, so this is for heavy gauge. The 3-track way is the best way. This is the 2-track way, where you can cap one end and then just literally flip the other track up, but it's harder to keep square. And you can kind of see how this one is like way more like twisted out on this end here. Right? That's because it's not as square. Whereas the ones I just built with the 3-track system, which is one on the bottom, one on the top, and then one flipped up, they're way more flush. Right? They come out really, really nice. No, that's definitely not true. Yeah, sorry, AsGem. So tech screws, no, you would never use tech screws unless maybe you're at 16 gauge or 14 gauge or 12 gauge, you know, but you would never use them with 25 gauge or 20 gauge. You'll jump up on wafer size at 18 gauge sometimes, but you really should at 16 gauge jump up a number. Once I go show you this, but yeah, tech screws are way too much. They're gonna pop your drywall out. Like they're no good for drywall. So let me show you this box of screws. That's for the I haven't finished putting them over. Whatever number this one is, it'll be the number different. So yeah, these are the number 8s. So we use number 8s. I use them for almost everything. But when you're going to 16 gauge, then you'll want to jump to a number 10, which is a bigger wafer. So yeah, they're just like this. Okay, that's what you want to use for your framing. Anything 18 gauge or lighter. Okay. But yeah, no, don't be using tech screws. No. Oh my gosh, what a mess in drywall that would be. But yeah, tech screws are like for cladders or like sheet metal workers and cladders, things that don't need to be like flat finished, you know. Oh, okay, so that's interesting. Oh, yeah, so you mean like for the structural, this iron, right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you want to use bolts or tech screws in that. But for a steel stud, you need to use these pan heads. They're flat pan heads, okay? And if you're doing an exterior job, you might use them to attach to like the iron itself, right? But you wouldn't screw stud and track together with them. Like you wouldn't put them here, for example, right? They would be like screwing this to the stud to the beam or something. But yeah, thank God. Sometimes those engineers tell us that we have to as well, but most of the time we can just shoot the Hilti pins in. How's Bob doing, my man? Yeah, so yeah, it's actually a lot of the times cheaper to buy angle and just cut them to size. So, but yeah, that's normal. But yeah, no, getting there. Like I said, we're gonna build another one coming straight down here. It's crazy. They want a pony wall this whole way apparently too.
Yeah, there is a pony wall.
Yeah, it's the first time I've heard of it. So
Well,
it was like the other day.
I know they had something because they have
Well, they have some of their TV units or whatever,
yeah,
right?
for when they're doing this
yeah, yes. Interesting. I'll be kind of excited to see how this kind of goes together, you know. But no, now that both ends are tied in, the wall has tightened up right away because the ends were open when I was taping and drywalling. They were kind of flapping, you know. I'm like, oh man, this is so freaky. Now they're super strong. The braces are looking great, okay? Because you don't want to have like 20-foot long studs coming out, you know, bracing your wall. That's gonna look ridiculous. So I made these braces, which I have video coming out on. Let me see if I can zoom in. Not exactly. Okay. Anyway, so you can see this side where I have a piece shot to the beam and it's straight out front, catching the 14-foot stud drop, and then I have a 10-foot stud on an angle coming back from that into the stud. So 2 foot pieces here, 2 foot at the very top on the Q deck, and on the Q deck I built clips to bridge the flutes, okay, so that there's meat for the screwing in the top track. No, sorry, we must use tech screws in structural framing out east. Oh, so that's so weird. Yeah. Well, I know. Yeah, I started out east about a long time ago. It would have been over close to 30 years now or longer now. I guess I started out east and then I came out here. But things change. You know, like that's a little. I noticed they have some weird rules in Ontario. I know that. And then you can see the clips at the top with the 2-foot piece of track. So I've bridged the flutes, screwed the track, dropped the 14-foot stud, shot another piece of track to the beam, and then it's all attached. It's really strange, but it's a nice brace. It's flat, right? Like it's straight. Oh, 1 second. Then we're gonna obviously there's the bathrooms, everything. We got a frame in here, the restaurant at the front. I'm gonna be designing a crazy wall across there. Okay, from that point over to the other, I'm gonna do some like crazy. It's gonna go all the way up. It's gonna be a bulkhead with another bulkhead in the and then glass at the bottom, wood slats in the middle. Like it's gonna be crazy. So I've got to figure that out because there's no structural steel. So I have to build it structurally, right? So and that'll be 40 feet up. It's across from that door opening all the way to that back column there. It's gonna be interesting. So next I'll be building the offices there. And then if the bathroom middle isn't ready, then I'll just keep on going. I'll do the offices there next, and then I'll build this guy, right? And then hopefully they'll be ready here. But then if not, there's some detail work in the back to do as well, around the tournament court, back offices on both sides of the storage. And then there's the back part where the curved wall is I've already built. And then there's a ceiling But yeah, then all ceilings and bulkheads in here. It's gonna be wild, man. So yeah, lots coming, guys. Lots coming. Yeah, so I've also heard like Ontario, they make you do like hard corners everywhere. You can't use floaters. Like, it's like so ridiculous, eh? Like, that's one of the things I really hate about Ontario is like the major unions, and they just keep wanting, like, keep wasting money, wasting time, inflating the cost like crazy. Like, no wonder costs and everything are out of control with all the stupid rules they keep bringing, like making up. Like, there's no excuse, zero excuse to use a tap, like a you know, those like those. Oh my God! Now I forgot it. Like the hex type screw, like the not Tatcon, but tech screws. Like there's no excuse to use those in steel stud. There's none. Zero excuse. I think it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And that's a prime example of just wasteful engineers, wasteful architects, wasting owners' money, and just like inflating costs. Like, it's just so stupid, right? But yeah, so this is the tournament court here. There's a row of offices going down here, another row of offices attached to the other side of the storage. So there's like some crap, like a curved wall here. This middle part is open. On the other side of this beam here is where the end of the bathrooms are, and it's so silly. Again, all floating in, like in front of structural. Like, that's the weirdest thing about this building, is like there's no structural steel. It's all like floating in front of it. But yeah, and then there's a round wall that comes around here. This section here, there's a janitor's room right there. And then this is like a sitting area, and there'd be glass looking into the tournament court that way, and I think glass looking into the padel court. So what I'm going to do is build something to attach into this glass that's already here, so you can kind of see where the wall is supposed to go. I'll take all that out and I'll return it into this glass, and then I'll build something above it if that's what they want. But yeah. And you can see the curved wall I've already built on the other side there. Okay, this is a padel court, and then this is all pickleball courts. Physiotherapy clinic going in on the far side down there, and a gym going in on the far side. That'll be another project. And then, like I said, here where you see this stud is where I got to build something that goes all the way up. Glass at the bottom, bulkheads in the middle, like slats. It's going to be pretty wild. So yeah, lots to do. Still lots to do. But yeah, just keep plugging away. Plugging away. Oh yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there, boys. We're getting there. Yeah, and then there's T-bar ceilings, drywall ceilings. And because of like the high ceilings here, I'm going to basically put steel stud ceilings and then drop the T-bar below that. So I have stuff to attach to, and this and that, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, check out the benches Christian built, man. They're so awesome. They look really, really nice. So the last thing I'll do is I'll show you these. So yeah, he spent like 6 weeks here building these all by himself. Over 100 units. These are all like out of like cabinet type wood. Built the players benches and the little benches over there. This is all for people to sit and watch, and that's for players over there. But yeah, you can kind of see these are actually screwed down now, so these will always be nice straight. But yeah, they're really nice. I really, really like them. Yeah, they're super strong, and yeah, they're gonna get a lot of use. There's no flex or nothing. Like, yeah, it's really sturdy. And then on for basketball, volleyball in here as well. So for volleyball, they have holes in there. They can set up the volleyball nets. So that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, working on it. Hang tough here, guys. I'm just gonna head back to the room here. Yeah, I was hoping there was some sandwiches stuffed away in there somewhere. I'm good. How are you?
We're waiting for you when you're ready.
Awesome. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna go, but you guys know the drill. Okay, hit that like button for me. Appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, I missed anything, you need me to clarify something, just leave me a comment down below. I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you soon. Okay. Yeah. Bye, dudes. Whew.